وعجل فرجه. Hold on, let me try and see what's happening here. Okay, cool. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. God, it's Friday and you look dead. You still got 2 more weeks. I'll start again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, I have several messages from you. I'm not quite sure why, but the messages I have tell me that you can't read Dua Mujir on your own. And you would like me to read it with you. It's all right, I'm not pointing out any names. I'm just telling you, this is what I get told. So, is that what all of you want? Or shall we try and do this at the end? Try and do it at the end? Yes, no, maybe, perhaps? Okay, all right. So what we're going to start off with is the Wiladat of Imam Hassan. For some of you, it might be tonight. For some of you, it might be tomorrow night. Okay? So when we're looking at the Wiladat of Imam Hassan, we need to know a little bit about him. So what you need to know here is divide his life into 3. 7, 37, 47. Can you do that? 7, 37, 47. He lived for 47 years. It's not difficult. 7, 37, 47. And the reason why I picked 7, 37, 47 is that his mom and his grandfather die when he's 7. Between 7 and 8, but we'll take it as 7. His father dies when he's 37, and he dies when he's 47. Can you split his life into 3? 7, 37, and 47. I'm going to talk a little bit about him, okay? So he's born on the 15th of Ramadan, as you can see. He's the first grandchild of the Prophet. And although many of you know Husaynu minni wa ana minal Husayn, the Prophet also said Hassanu minni wa ana minal Hassan. And the name came from divinity. So the 2 names, the amount of time between him and Imam Hussein was 6 months. So the Prophet tells Imam Ali that just as Musa's sons were Shabbar and Shubair, these will be Shabbar and Shubair, and therefore Hassan and Hussein. Translated into Arabic, it's Hassan and Hussein. Okay? He fills the house with joy. He's the first grandchild. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay? This is an amazing time. And when you hear that you recite Adhan and Iqama in the ears of your babies, it was first started with Imam Hassan. The first Aqiqah was the Aqiqah of Imam Hassan. Right? So these are just things that you need to remember Imam Hassan by. Let's just go into a little bit into that. There's some bits here that you might want to read if you want to. But let's look at his life. So mom and grandfather die at the age of 7 or 8, right? From the age of 7 or 8 to 32, he experiences the rule of the Khalifas. Now these Khalifas did everything possible to sideline Imam Ali. And he's watching this. As a child, he grows up seeing them sidelining Imam Ali. Although he also saw Ghadir, where the Prophet said, Man kuntu mawlahu fahada aliyun mawlahu. A difficult childhood or difficult upbringing. At 32, Imam Ali accepts the Khilafat when Uthman is murdered. I don't know how much history you know, but it's good to know history, right? So 32 to 37, you have Imam Ali as what you call the apparent Khalifa as such. At 37, Imam Ali is martyred. 40,000 people come to the mosque and give allegiance to Imam Hassan. But after 4 months, there's only 20 left. Because Muawiyah has either bribed them, or he's coerced them, or he's been really bad. The atmosphere is not good at all. It's pretty tough. Everywhere he looks, somebody's trying to kill him, okay? I don't know whether we've got some more here. These are just some facts that you might like to go. Now, when Muawiyah saw that there's only 20 people left, he called that year, and I need you to listen to this carefully, he called that year Sanatul Jama'ah, the year of the Jama'ah. And the people who followed him were called Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Does that ring a bell with you? So this started with Imam Hassan. This is when you know, and he's about, you know, when Imam Ali has died, when he's about 37. So when you hear people say that we're Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, one day ask them, where did the name come from? The name actually came from this particular time. It was quite hard. When he's 38, he signs what is called a hudna. Hudna is a ceasefire. Because those who followed him were persecuted so badly. In fact, anybody in Makkah or Medina was persecuted, and he wanted peace and quiet. He didn't want people to be persecuted. So he signs a hudna, which is sometimes known as Sulh Hassan, the peace treaty of Hassan. It's basically a hudna, a ceasefire. He wanted all this horribleness to go away. But as soon as he signs it, and he calls it a peace treaty, Muawiyah takes it, puts it under his feet, and he says, I really don't care what I've written and what has been signed. But Imam uses that time because apparently there was some peace. So he uses from 37 to 47, about 10 years. He uses that peace to be able to tell people what Islam was all about. Now you and I sometimes also have got a dogmatic sense of Islam. So let me give you an example. And I know I'm being recorded, okay? So when you come to the mosque and you sit down, what do they start off first? Just tell me. You come to the mosque for a majlis, what do they start off with? How do you say? Kisa. Do you understand it? Do you understand what it is all about? And then what do they read? Surah Yasin. Do you understand Surah Yasin and its importance? And why it's called Qalb-e Quran? Why is it called the heart of Quran? And then they recite a Marthiya or Noha. Yes? Do you understand them? If you speak Urdu, you might understand a little bit. Sometimes 3. So they recite a Marthiya or a Munajat. And very many times what the Marthiya says is very different from the creed you and I follow. And then there's a majlis. Now, psychology tells you that a human being's attention span on one topic is about 20 minutes. Have you heard you listen to me? By the time it comes to the end, you're all asleep. And I have to start waffle on. Your attention span in essence on one topic is 20 minutes. How long is a majlis? I read them so I know. 45? 45, I'm told 20 must be in English, 25 must be in Gujarati, and then if I really push it, they tell me 30 in English and 25 in Gujarati. And then I really push it and they tell me 40 in English and 15 in Gujarati. And I can see, because I'm sitting on one of these, and when you sit on one of these, you see that people have lost interest after about 20 minutes. And then what do? Matam? And do you understand it? Or do you just sit there and put your hand on your chest? Oh, you don't do that. What about ziyarah? Do you do the ziyarah? Do you understand the ziyarah? If I were to ask you, who was the 11th Imam? Who was his mother? Tell me. You and I are going to do the amals of Qadr, are we not? We're going to put the Quran on our head and we're going to say, Bika ya Allah, bi Muhammadin, bi Aliyin, bi Hassanin, bi Hussein, bi Ali ibn al-Hussein, bi Muhammad ibn Ali, bi Ja'far ibn Muhammad. Okay, we're known as Ja'fari. Who was Imam Ja'far Sadiq's mom? I can't even see one hand up. And maybe you know it, but you're not telling me. Okay? But that's what ziyarah is about. So throughout this procedure, we've done a dogmatic thing where we don't even understand what's going on. So he taught them what really Islam was about, because they had heard this dogmatic stuff. They couldn't understand what it was about. And Muawiyah tried several times to kill him. There was an occasion when Imam was sitting in Masjid al-Nabawi in Medina. And he's sitting in a circle, and this blind man, or apparently blind man, comes in with his stick. And he says, where is Hassan? And they say, that one. And he pokes Imam Hassan with his stick, which has poison in it. Now, you've heard about this sort of stuff going on. But this is what he does. Imam lives through it. In the end, Muawiyah bribes Ja'da. Ja'da is Imam's wife. And he says, he tells her, if you kill Hassan, I will give you so much money and you will get married to my son Yazid. She does. She poisons Imam Hassan. She does get the money, but he says, I will never let you marry my son, because if you killed one husband, you'll kill another. Right? So even Muawiyah understood who he was trying to bribe. That is in essence Imam Hassan. He was buried in Baqi. So what was the age I told you? 7? I need to engage you. 37 and 47. What happened at 7? What happened at 7? His mom and his grandfather died. What happened at 37? His dad died. And 47, he was killed. 7, 37, 47. Can you remember that? Yes? And that basically is sort of a summary of his life. Okay, Asma al-Husna, are you good? Do you remember the king? Kind and merciful king. What did he do? Send salams? What sort of salams? Holy salams. To who? To the mu'min, who protected himself against what? Against being incomparable and forceful. Can you remember the Arabic? Come on. Wake up. Rahman, Rahim, Malik, Quddus, Salam, Mu'min, Muhaymin, Aziz and Jabbar. Are you good with that? Okay. Next one. This is what we did. Can you remember the creator? Mutakabbir. Read it with me. Khaliq, Bari, Musawwir. What else? Now this creator was what? This awesome creator was an architect, he was a builder, and he was a designer. What did he do? What did he do? He forgave and strengthened. It was Ghaffar and Qahhar. And how did he do that? By giving a gift, which was Wahhab. What was he give? What were his gifts? 2 gifts. Come on, you've got them here. Razak and Fatah. All right, read them with me. Rahman, Rahim, Malik. I need it loudly. It's like children. Your children, if they didn't answer, my goodness, I'd just walk out of the classroom. Rahman, Rahim, Malik, Quddus, Salam, Mu'min, Muhaymin, Aziz and Jabbar. Mutakabbir, Khaliq, Bari, Musawwir. Okay, what did he do? Ghaffar, Qahhar, Wahhab, Razak and Fatah. Okay, you're getting there. Yesterday, we did the doctor. The doctor's knowledge was Alim. And how did the doctor base his knowledge on? On the constricting and the expanding of the heart. And what did that lead to? Low and high blood pressure. Are you good? Okay. So now what did the doctor honor? Good diets and dishonor chips, although we give them to you. Okay? Dishonor bad diet by hearing and seeing his patients. Can you go with that with me? Alim, Qabid, Basit, Khafid, Rafi, Mu'iz, Mudil, Sami and Basir. Okay, I'm going to take you right to the beginning again. Rahman, Rahim, Malik, Quddus, Salam, Mu'min, Muhaymin, Aziz, Jabbar, Mutakabbir, Khaliq, Bari, Musawwir, Ghaffar, Qahhar, Wahhab, Razak and Fatah. Are you good? Next one. Alim, Qabid, Basit, Khafid, Rafi, Mu'iz, Mudil, Sami and Basir. Are you good with those? I mean, you've done 27, which is 3. Have you done 3? 3 out of 11. It's quite good. All right, next one. So today we're going to do the judge. The best of judges. So your judge is 28. If somebody was asked you that you wanted to pick a judge, what would you like that judge to do? You want him to be just. What else do you want that judge to be? Latif means he's subtle. He knows all the fine details. What else would you want that judge to be? To be aware of all your circumstances. Are you good? You want a judge to be just. What else? I'm waiting for you to tell me. Know all the details. Be aware. So you've got Hakam, Adil, Latif and Khabir. But you'll also like the judge to be soft. Halim is like khichdi. You know what khichdi is? Do you know what khichdi is or not? Yes, okay. So Halim is like khichdi. And you also want him to be awesome, Azim. And the only way he can be those things is if he is Ghafoor and he is Shakur to the Most High. Can you say that with me again now? Come on. Hakam, Adil, Latif, Khabir, okay? Halim. Come on, you've got it written up there. Azim. And the only way he can do that if he's Ghafoor and Shakur to Ali. Let's go over that again. Hakam, Adil, Latif, Khabir. think of this judge, okay? Halim, soft, and he is Adim. And why does he do that? Because he's Ghafoor and Shakur to Ali. You can make up your own mnemonics, but you've got to learn them. Right from the start. Come on, here we go. Rahman, Rahim, Malik, Quddus, Salam, Mu'min, Muhaymin, Aziz, Jabbar. Yes? Next one. Mutakabbir, Khaliq, Bari, Musawwir. And think through this, okay? Ghafoor. What else? Ghafoor comes after what? I can't hear you. Wahhab. Okay? Razak and Fatah. Next one. This is what we did yesterday. Alim, Qabid, Basit. Khafid, Rafi. Mu'izz and Mudil. Sami and Basir. Okay, this is today's. Come on. Hakam. So you want this judge to be Adil. Adil. You want him to be Latif and you want him to be Khabir. Yes? But you also want him to be Halim and Adim. And he can only do that if he is Ghafoor and Shakur to Ali. Are you good with that? Do you think you can learn these? That's about 36. 36 out of 99. How many have you got left? 99 take away 36. Really? Yeah, I'm waiting. Do you need a calculator? 63, okay. Right, Hakam. So Hakam means he's the judge. Nobody else can judge you, and neither can you judge anybody else. Normally I tell young people, when they're always saying she's like this and he's like this and all the rest of it, I say one judge, position taken, when it's empty we will all apply. Okay? So Hakam is only one, there's only one judge. Now, this is a bit scary. If you want to know the hidden meaning of things, recite this. I wouldn't if I were you, because sometimes ignorance is better. It's not good to know everything. You want to know though. There's no point sneaking into somebody's phone. This is their life, right? Just recite Ya Hakam. And better still, don't even recite it. You don't want to know. Adl. Do you know what Adl is? What is Adl? When you learned Usul in Madrasa, what did you learn? Tawheed, Adala, Nabuwa, Imama, and Qiyamah. Why did they pick out Adl in the Tawheed? There are 99 qualities of Allah. Why did they pick out Adl? Usul is actually 3. It is Tawheed, divine guidance, and accountability. And Nabuwa and Imam are together in here. Tawheed is with Adala. Why did they pick Adala? Why? Any idea? Did you never question it? Why on earth would they pick Adala? Are you a bit stumped? Yes. You mean you never questioned it? In Madrasa they said, Usul-e-Din are 5. Did they not? And when they said Tawheed and Adala, what do you say? God is just. So God is everything else as well. All the 99 names. Why did they pick Adl? Why? Any idea at all? Nothing, really. Shall I let you mulch over it? Search engine it. Find out and tell me on Monday. You think you can do that? You didn't question it. God, you were model students, right? You said yes to your teacher and whatever they said. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to leave you to think about this. Why Adl? Why? Why did Tashayyu pick Adl as out of all the 99 names? Why are you so unique? Why am I and you so unique? I've given you some answers. Why are we so unique in our concept of Adala? Let me remind you again. How many surahs in the Quran? 114. How many Makki? 86. How many Madani? 28. Yes? If 86 surah of the Quran are based on the why, which is basically usul, and 28 is based on the how, surely I should have asked so many questions in the why. Why didn't I ask? You just accepted it, that Allah is just, how just, and where just, and why did I pick it out? I'm going to leave you till Monday to answer this one. Latif. Do you know what Latif is? Latif is like do you ever expect a pearl from an oyster? No. Look at the oyster, you think, ew. Have you seen a silkworm? Have you ever seen a silkworm? If it was crawling over here, you'd go, ew. Yet if I gave you a silk dress or a silk piece of cloth, you'd take it. It is the saliva of the silkworm that creates the silk. Latif is that subtlety. He provides that soft, subtle energy. And you and I think we've done it ourselves. But we haven't. It's him. So recite Ya Latif as much as possible. Especially if you're healing from an illness. His lutf is amazing. Can you tell me which surah you'll find this in? A lot in. Who was the prophet who said Allah was Latif? Whose life history was so difficult? He was put in a well. Yusuf. Okay, we're not getting very far today. Okay, Khabir. Khabir, he's aware of everything. Inside, outside of everything. I can pretend as much as I like, but he knows exactly what I'm thinking. I can pretend to everybody in the world, but he knows my in and out. You know that one? Halim. Oh, I love this one. Halim is he's soft. Now, very often I have a young girl upstairs who tells me that her parents get very hangry. Do you know what hangry means? In Ramadan, they get very hangry. Mom and dad both get very hangry. And she prays Ramadan is over so that they wouldn't get hangry. All she has to read is Ya Halim. Hopefully their hungerness will go a bit down. I'm actually talking to all of you because some of them are your children. Okay? If your temper goes funky in Ramadan, then you're not fasting. You're just staying hungry and thirsty. Okay. So Halim, basically, as you can see, is an Arabic word for dream, which comes at. And Allah sort of calms us down in difficult situations. So when you're feeling hungry, just keep on reading Ya Halim as much as possible. By the way, when you're doing iftar, read it on the food. Inshallah, the man will get a little bit softer. Okay? Right. Next one. Azim. What is Azim? We've done it. When we did Ya Aliyu, Ya Azim. Do you remember this? Or you've forgotten? Okay. Hopefully you remember it. Ghafoor. What was the difference between Ghaffar and Ghafoor? God Almighty, you definitely need food. Ghaffar was he forgives again and again and again. Ghafoor is where he forgives that innermost sin that you can't even tell anybody about. I repeat again. What's the difference between Ghaffar and Ghafoor? What is Ghaffar? Forgives again and again and again. What is Ghafoor? He forgives that innermost sin that you can't even tell anybody about. Okay? So, again, when you're feeling despair, anxiety, Ya Ghafoor. Shakur can't be that difficult. What is Shakur? Thankful. These days, if you look at psychologists, they will tell you that if you want to get better or of anything, then you should keep a gratitude journal. Have you heard about that? So every day you wake up and you write 5 things for which you are grateful about. What do you and I do 5 times a day? Pray. And then after our prayers, what do we do? Sajda of shukr. And in that sajda of shukr, what do you say? Are you serious? What do you say? Shukra lillah. What else do you say? You put your right cheek and your left cheek. You say, Ya Rabbahu, Ya Allahu, Ya Rabba, Ya Sayyidahu. No? So when you say shukra lillah in that sajda of shukr, what are you saying shukr for? For what? Children, husband, house, 2.5 cars, healthy bank balance. What else do you do shukr for? That's it. How about adding today the Quran, the Masumeen, and the Asma al-Husna? So when you do shukr, spend a little bit more time in there. And just tell him, recite it continuously. It soothes a heavy heart. A long sajda of shukr has an amazing effect on you. I know you feel like the blood's rushing to your head, and it's difficult, and the children are screaming, and they're climbing over you. It doesn't matter. Just stay in sajda of shukr. Say thank you. And thank you for Asma al-Husna. Thank you for Fasting. Thank you for the Quran. Thank you for the Masumeen. Thank you for giving you the opportunity to do sajda of shukr. Okay. By the way, you do know you have to thank each other, right? Even for small things. How about calling mom and say, thank you for raising me. I am who I am because of you. Just a little thank you. If you don't learn how to thank human beings, you'll never learn how to thank Allah. Ali, 36. Not difficult to know. Ali is the most high. What surah of the Quran is 36? Pardon? Yasin. And what is Yasin known as? The heart of the Quran. Imam Ali resides in our heart. This is talking about Allah. And I mentioned this to you right in the beginning. You want to do a dua, you say, Ya Ali bihaqqi Ali. Remember we did it when we first did Ya Ali Ya Adim. That is the Ali we're talking about. Are we good? Recite it to achieve success. And when you're calling Ya Ali, you're talking to Allah. When you're talking to Imam Ali, you're saying Ya Ali bihaqqi Ali. Okay, giving the wasila of Imam Ali. Right, repetition for what to do on a Friday. Let's go over it again. Fajr Salah is over. Fajr to Dhuhr is over. Hopefully you will have already recited Ayatul Kursi. Cut your nails. Takes away so many diseases if you cut them on a Friday. I don't know what you do for your children, but try to keep it on a Friday. Have you done Ghusl of Jumu'ah? I'm not going to ask. Good to do Ghusl of Jumu'ah. Okay? I know it's difficult right now. Maybe after Maghrib, but you should have done it before. It doesn't matter. Apply perfume. We talked about pomegranates, giving sadaqah, reciting Quran, spending time to learn religion, which you're hopefully doing over here, to recite Tasbihat Arba. What is Tasbihat Arba, by the way? Because somebody asked me last week. Subhanallahi, walhamdulillahi, wa la ilaha illallahu, wallahu akbar. Okay. Salawat as much as possible. Suratul Jumu'ah if you can, today. Supposed to recite it in your Fajr, in your Zohar, in your whatever you can, okay? Istighfar after Asr, which you can do now. You want to do some istighfar 3 times? Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Come on. Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Surah Al-Ikhlas. Remember your marhumin. We talked about that yesterday as well. And Jumu'ah is the day of Imam Mahdi. Ajjalallahu faraja. Give sadaqah in his name. There's a box up there. In Gujarati we say fulne to fulni pankri. Doesn't matter. Just put whatever you've got in there for sadaqah and give it in his name for his safety. People will recite Dua al-Nudba. I told you last week that on Friday, if you've got a particular hajat, after Fajr, go into sajda, recite Suratul Kafirun 10 times and ask for your hajat. It's a Friday that works. And if you've forgotten today, then inshallah next Friday if God gives us life, okay? We did Suratul Duha. Key concepts of Suratul Duha. Can anybody tell me, please? What was Suratul Duha about? Key concepts, tell me. What was it telling the Prophet? I think you can read it up there as well. Why was Suratul Duha revealed? Okay, there was a pause of revelation. The Prophet was upset. He saw the blue ticks on the WhatsApp, but he didn't get a reply. So Duha is comfort. Do you remember we talked about comfort? We talked about comfort, we talked about gratitude, and we talked about tasks. So there was 3 things. He was given comfort. What was the comfort he was given? وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. Your Rabb is not saying goodbye to you. And neither is your Rabb had enough of you. Qala, I told you, was washing powder. Once you've washed it, it's disappeared. You have no use for that person whom you use qala. He says, it's not like that. وَلَا الْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى. What is to come is always better. The future is always better. And then, وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. We will soon give you that which you'll be happy. What was he given? You're definitely asleep today. What was he given? وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. What was he given? Pardon? He was given a progeny, he was given the Quran, he was given the Ahlul Bayt, He was given from 3 followers, that was in fact 2, Sayyidah Khadija and Imam Ali. Today he has 1.6 billion followers and growing. Can you imagine? And he's thinking, my goodness, what was the 3 things he had to be grateful for? Alam yajidka yatiman fa'awa, wa wajadaka dhallan fahada, wa wajadaka ailan fa'aghna. He had no shelter, found shelter. People were lost. They didn't know that he was a prophet. He led people to them. And the 3rd one? He needed funds to carry this this process of tabligh. And who gave him the funds? And who gave him the emotional support? The economic and emotional support was given by Khadija. Then he said, do 3 things. What were the 3 things? فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. You and me are told the same thing. When a yatim comes, don't belittle them. When somebody asks you a question, don't give them verbal diarrhea. Answer according to their age and according to their abilities. And the last one was share whatever you have. Oh my goodness. Inshira, what was Inshira about? Climbing a mountain. And the mountain was what? Being able to deliver the message to each human being that you can be your best, you can reach your full potential, provided you follow divine guidance. He looked around him and he saw people who buried girls alive. He saw people who chucked you out if you weren't at the same social status as them. And he thought, how are these people going to change? So Inshira tells him, don't worry, we're here for you. We've expanded your breast for you. Alam nashra laka sadrak wa wada'na anka wizrak. Your backpack with all that weight, it's going to put down. We know it is breaking your back. And then what does it say? فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. إِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. If you forget everything, you know that with every difficulty, the promise is 2 eases. فَإِذَا فَرَقْتَ فَانْسَبْ وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْكَبْ. When you run out of charge, plug yourself into Allah. Go on your musalla. Okay, so we've done this. 3. And hopefully you've journaled your Quran. Are you good with that? Yes, no, maybe, perhaps. I've got 7 minutes. It takes me about 10 minutes to read Mujir. Shall we read as much as we can? Would you like to do that? Can you open your books, please? So read with me. I will try and do it as quickly as I can, okay? So read Mujir with me. I'm going to sit down. All right, start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And I need you to read with me. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد سبحانك يا الله تعاليت يا رحمن أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا رحيم تعاليت يا كريم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ملك تعاليت يا مالك أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قدوس تعاليت يا سلام أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مؤمن تعاليت يا مهيمن أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عزيز تعاليت يا جبار أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا متكبر تعاليت يا متجبر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا خالق تعاليت يا بارئ أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مصور تعاليت يا مقدر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حادي تعاليت يا باكي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا وهاب تعاليت يا تواب أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا فتاح تعاليت يا مرتاح أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا سيدي تعاليت يا مولاي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قريب تعاليت يا رقيب أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مقضي تعاليت يا معيد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حميد تعاليت يا مجيد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قديم تعاليت يا عظيم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا غفور تعاليت يا شكور أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا شاهد تعاليت يا شهيد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حنان تعاليت يا منان أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا باعث تعاليت يا وارث أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا محيي تعاليت يا مميت أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا شفيق تعاليت يا رفيق أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا أنيس تعاليت يا مؤنس أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا جليل تعاليت يا جميل أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا خبير تعاليت يا بصير أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حفي تعاليت يا ملي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا معبود تعاليت يا موجود أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا غفار تعاليت يا كحار أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مذكور تعاليت يا مشكور أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا جواد تعاليت يا معاد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا جمال تعاليت يا جلال أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا سابق تعاليت يا رازق أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا صادق تعاليت يا فالك أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا سميع تعاليت يا سريع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا رفيع تعاليت يا بديع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا فعال تعاليت يا متعال أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قاضي تعاليت يا راضي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قاهر تعاليت يا طاهر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عالم تعاليت يا حاكم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا دائم تعاليت يا قائم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عاصم تعاليت يا قاسم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا غني تعاليت يا مغني أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا وفي تعاليت يا قوي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا كافي تعاليت يا شافي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مقدم تعاليت يا مؤخر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا أول تعاليت يا آخر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ظاهر تعاليت يا باطن أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا رجاء تعاليت يا مرتجى أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ذا المن تعاليت يا ذا الطول أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حي تعاليت يا قيوم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا واحد تعاليت يا أحد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا سيد تعاليت يا صمد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قدير تعاليت يا كبير أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا والي تعاليت يا عالي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا علي تعاليت يا علا أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ولي تعاليت يا مولى أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ضاري تعاليت يا باري أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا خافض تعاليت يا رافع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مقسط تعاليت يا جامع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مقيس تعاليت يا مذل أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حافظ تعاليت يا حفيظ أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قادر تعاليت يا مقتدر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عليم تعاليت يا حليم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حكم تعاليت يا حكيم أجرنا من النار يا مجير. Right, you only have a few pages. Inshallah, you will read them at home and finish them. It's not long to go. So can I have a salawat, please? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajim. Can we have a Surah Al-Fatiha? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صدق Allah al-Azim. Close your eyes. Ask Allah to give the thawabs to all the marhumin, especially those of your family. Pray for those who are ill and those who are in trouble. لي خمسة عطفي بها هر الوباء الحاتمة المصطفى والمرتضى وابناهما والفاطمة. جزاكم الله خير.